Well, I guess I might as well start with Aspen, the winner of the season. Uh,
Yay!
where do you
I
think you're?
stole my vote.
Wow. At what point in the game do you think the game went right for you?
Um, I guess honestly, I'd have to say like when I got voted back in, things really turned around for me. Yeah, I was really worried about my team going to the other side, but I that was something I didn't have to worry about. Luckily, Fan Guy and Rochelle held it down, and they were loyal, and I appreciate that.
Since Fanguy isn't here, I'll ask Days this since he voted for Fanguy to win. Where do you think Fanguy went wrong?
um, it, I really don't know. First off, I think it was kind of a bitter jury. Well, one person. I think if we'll say that if he hadn't have pissed Mike off, he might have had that shot at winning.
Mike, I did have a question about that final
Yeah, of
tribal.
course.
Was your mind made up, or was there any chance of Fanguy swaying your vote?
Um,
Because he did no favors with some of his comments at that final tribal.
to be honest, it was a long time ago. Was there things he could have said to change my mind? Probably. Was it likely? No. I just wasn't very happy that the only time he seemed to pander was when he compared himself to me, and I'm like, that is the last thing you want to do. I don't even like myself. So I think that was the moment whenever that happened that I was like, all right, it is not happening. He's not getting my vote.
Rochelle, you kind of had your mind made up for Aspen. Was there any change for you that was going to happen?
No, because she was the only one who was not lying to me the whole time. So I was like, I'm gonna give her my loyalty because she gave me hers.
Thanks, sis.
Can I ask really quick?
Mm-hmm.
Aspen, were you surprised that I voted for you?
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
100%, 100%. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Did
I
not
thought,
expect it.
yeah. Well,
I will.
congratulations.
Yes.
I'll
Thank
say
you.
that I wasn't surprised that he. I thought he was going to base his vote more on gameplay than emotion, and I don't think there was any way that Fan Guy could have changed his vote since he went that way.
And I do think Aspen played the better game. Like, jury management's a part
Thank
of
you.
the game.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's fair.
And I don't think it was emotional. I always do vote on who I think played the best game. And a big part of that was Aspen clawed her way back from the bottom in a way that Fanguy never had to do. And that, to me, is more impressive than just having things handed to you.
If Team AOL wasn't so have some people on the team that were not participating. I mean, both teams did, but Team AOL struggled to win challenges. Do you think you three, with Fanguy included, would have been so close going into the merge?
I think
Uh,
so.
yeah, I do too. I mean, honestly, from the moment we first got into it, I already knew that I wanted to take Rochelle with me to the end. Like we kind of had that planned out from day one to just, go all the way. So, I mean, Fan Guy, he just was, you know, we just kind of drug him along. I hate to be like that, but like he just was along for the ride, and he showed up. So, you know, but I think it still would have been close.
Yeah, I mean, everyone. I don't know. I don't think anyone was talking. So, but even if they
Right.
were talking, I'd be like, they're not even trying as hard as Van Guy and Aspen. So I'd be like, they can't come with us.
Yeah.
Was there any chance for RJ, who came into the tribe late?
Mm. I feel feel so
Yeah.
bad.
I know, I do too, but honestly, no, it wasn't, like he already kind of betrayed our trust a little bit. Like we needed him. If we would have had him, like I feel like we could have won, and I don't know, it might have put us in a different position. I might have not got voted out, but maybe then I wouldn't have won because that's the only reason Mike voted for me. So, kind of a toss up there.
Did you say
Yeah.
REJ betrayed your trust?
Well, I guess not betrayed our trust, but just like didn't come through for the team, like
Okay.
we had to kind of do it ourselves.
I guess we might as well go to Team Yahoo and the original rift between Mike and Days. Mike, you wanted Dazed out right off the bat.
Of course.
Do you want to get into that of why exactly? I mean, you explained it in the episode, but
Yeah,
still.
I think it was pretty well explained throughout. Is that I didn't know what the other tribe was like because we didn't even get to see anything about them. It was like total lockdown, and as far as I could tell, Infinity was good socially, and then
Welcome, everybody.
speak of the devil, Infinity was
Hey,
good
sorry I'm
socially,
late.
and Days was just like in general just seemed at the beginning to be good socially, strategically, and active enough to be good at challenges. So I was like, ooh, scary. So I was just like, I got like spooked and decided I wanted to make a move, which I never got the chance to make, so it doesn't matter.
Dazed, were you aware how badly Mike wanted you out? Did I have any reason that you wanted him out after the merge?
Did I know that he wanted me out?
Yes, pre-merge. Before you learned that.
I mean, I kind of had a feeling.
Is that working?
He didn't tell it to me flat out. It wasn't until we had our fight where he admitted that he wanted me out pre-merge that I knew for sure. But I mean, there's always thoughts in your head that you're at the bottom of a group, which I felt like I was at the very beginning. So did I know? Not for sure, but he did confirm it for me later on.
Let's go to Aspen or Rochelle. There was a point where you wanted a girls' alliance with Infinity, but there seemed to be some tensions there. Was that a serious girls' alliance, or was it just the game you were trying to play to get her on your side?
I mean, for me, I didn't think it was a serious alliance because I know she was trying to vote me out. So I was like, I don't really trust you right now. But also,
Well, she knew because I told her. I was straight up.
And also, I had a little thing because I just didn't understand. Even if she wasn't trying to vote me out, I didn't understand the whole telling Mike that we were going to vote him out thing. Even if you wanted to know if there was a safety card or something, So I was like, I don't know if I could trust you right now, girl.
Infinity, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit.
Do you think it was the right move to tell Mike about that people wanted him out, or do you think it was bad that Mike kind of said that you were the one that wanted him out afterwards?
Do I think it was the right move? I don't know. I still at that point I was just trying to be upfront and honest with everybody. So, and that probably like backfired and blew up in my face because then others were like, "Oh, she's not trustworthy" and all that. But honestly, I was just trying to be open and honest, and that probably now looking back on it maybe wasn't the best choice. I guess.
Well, I can.
Sorry, Dazed. Where do you stand on that since Mike was trying to vote you out that round? On the whole safety card debacle.
I mean, that round I felt safe. I had built a pretty close bond with Fan Guy by that time, and I think he was kind of he was going to go with Aspen and Rochelle to vote out Infinity, so I didn't feel like my name was going to come up except for Mike. So in the long run, I mean, her flushing that idol may have not been the right move for her, but it helped me out because he was eventually the next to go instead of me. So
it was around that same point you started to kind of, I guess, see Fanguy playing both sides. You even said at one point you were gonna try and vote Fanguy out rather, but then Mike kind of pissed you off. Was that true? Were you gonna try and target Fanguy?
So I started to distrust Fanguy based off a misinterpretation of the rules. Of the advantages, it got me super paranoid, and I thought that he had the advantage and was saying that Rochelle had it, or he might have possibly had an immunity idol. So I was wavering back and forth, but ultimately, Infinity was my number one with Fanguy right behind her. So I couldn't. There was no way that I could have voted him out and had any allies left other than Infinity. So was I considering realistically voting him out? No, but I was weighing my options as far as game moves went.
Aspen, when you had that spy advantage and got to learn about Fanguy being a little just trustworthy, why exactly did you keep that to yourself?
I just wanted to be able to use it to my advantage. Honestly, I was trying to figure out the right way to go about things, and if anything, I would have probably told Rochelle, but I felt like we kind of already knew that was going on, and I just thought that I should probably keep this in my pocket because I might need it eventually. And I mean, I didn't have to break it out, but I would have if I needed to.
Fair enough. Dazed. At one point, you had the still a vote advantage
Mm-hmm.
that you stole Mike's vote.
Mm-hmm.
Any regrets there?
When was that? That wasn't the. Did I
That
have
was
two
when Mike went.
advantages? When he went?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't hurt me either way. I had to use it. It was the last chance I had to use it. So at that time, I was doing almost anything I could just to rub it in his face that I was still here and he wasn't. No regrets. I mean, I wasn't in the final two, so it didn't affect me. But still, in the back of my mind, I think if I got to the final two, I was kind of hoping he would have voted for me based off of gameplay. But whatever. But that didn't happen, so it's kind of a moot point.
Probably not. You
No.
probably could have beaten Fanguy, and that's it. In my vote. Well, I don't know about anyone else.
Mike, at one point you said you thought Daze played a shit game. Do you agree with that still?
Not necessarily. It wasn't the worst. It was definitely not the best, like I said. I would have voted for him over Fanguy, and I don't know how everyone else would have voted. But he could have won that. I don't know. So that's not like the worst shit game I've ever seen. Probably played better than I did.
I mean, I was talking to everybody. I had a solid 2-person alliance, maybe a 3-person alliance that I wasn't at the bottom of.
Yeah,
And I was talking to Aspen and Rochelle somewhat.
Infinity, do you think trusting Fanguy is what went wrong for you the most that got you voted out in the end?
I don't necessarily think I trusted anyone completely. So I kind of figured he would turn against me though on that last one, just because he felt like that I was in all these different alliances. I was just trying to talk to people, and it was kind of funny because he was doing the same exact thing, but people didn't call him out on that, which I found interesting. But anyways,
I think my biggest mistake, which probably wouldn't have actually changed anything, but it was still something I feel bad about, was sort of telling everybody that Infinity told me about the idol. I was just mad at everyone, but I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid. I did have a little bit of reasoning for it, but it was stupid reasoning. Like, I thought there was a small chance that if I sort of exposed Infinity, that I could survive one more vote over Infinity, but if I wasn't immune, I was going to get voted out, so it was not worth it. But I was trying everything I could. So.
You know, I was just happy that you and Days didn't turn on me at the end, because...
Did you think we did? Because we did not.
I didn't know what to think at that point, you know, and it's just like, when you get voted out, you're like, okay, it's just a game, don't get upset, but your feelings get hurt just a little bit. You're like, oh man, I'm out now. It's like, you know, these people are, you know, but it's all good in the end. But I was like, I was kind of wondering about that, and I was happy to see. So thanks, guys.
I think I was at risk because I didn't vote you out. Because it was a 3-way tie?
Well, it was 3-3, and then the vote switch made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rochelle's vote switch.
Yeah. Dude, Rocks would have been so fun. That would have been great. I always love Rocks.
Speaking of that vote switch, Rochelle, do you regret telling Van Guy about that?
About what?
Your advantage that he told Days and Infinity about.
Well, I mean, I regret it now, obviously, because, I mean, I didn't know he was telling everybody our business. But at the time, I trusted him. So, no, I would still probably do it again, to be honest with you. I'm really trusting in people for some reason. Which is my fault, obviously.
Aspen, was there at any point that you considered taking Days to the end? At the end, he was talking to you like 3 nights in a row.
I mean, honestly, it crossed my mind. Yeah, for sure. I weighed out the options. Yeah. I honestly, what made me go with Fan Guy was I genuinely felt like I could win against him. I really thought Days probably would pull it out against me, honestly. So, yeah,
I think that's
you were a bigger threat, man. Seriously.
I will say you had me convinced that you were going to take me to the final 2. When I lost that last challenge, I was like, I think I'm okay. I think I've done enough work that either Fan Guy or Aspen would have taken me to the final 2. That was not the case, but you sold me pretty well on it.
Well, gameplay. It's all in the gameplay, man. Strategy.
I wish Fan Guy was here for this double question, because it is a double question. But in the final 4 days, you took out Rochelle. Why was it Rochelle that you and Fan Guy targeted and not Aspen?
I mean, my only goal in that final 4 was to break them up. I knew that I couldn't go to the final 3 with them and survive to the final 2 if I didn't win. I thought I had a better shot with the duo split up and trying to convince Fan Guy plus one of them to take me. But looking back, I do think that my mistake was taking out Rochelle instead of Aspen, because I don't think Rochelle was as good at games as I initially gave her credit for. And I think if it was Rochelle and Fan Guy probably would have won that final challenge, and he would have taken me instead of Rochelle. So I think that's where my game kind of came to an end.
Rochelle, that same vote, you and Fan Guy had a little conversation where you said, "Oh, I think it's me or you. There's nothing we could do about it." I mean, it would have required turning on Aspen. Was there any chance of you and Fan Guy taking control of that vote?
Oh, I guess we could have. But I was like, I don't know. Because I told everybody, I was like, if anyone wins, I would be happy. I don't care who would have won at that point. So I was like, if it's my time, bitch, it's my time. And I knew it was gonna be between me and him, so I was like, whatever. I accepted my fate at that point.
So I don't know. This is the deciding vote was actually Ibarka, who I finally got to vote after 4 fucking emails to vote Aspen as the winner.
Really?
Just so you know.
Wow.
But
I did not know
going
that.
back to that, Mike, you wanted to keep Ibarka in the game badly.
Yeah.
Even though he probably would not have shown up after the time that he
Probably
left.
not, because he didn't for the jury. So
Yeah. But do you think if he would have stayed, even not showing up, it would have helped you in any way?
if he'd have showed up, I think I would have had a much, much better chance. Yeah. Because I think that was a big reason he was targeted so much. Like, if he just showed up and talked to people, because he was loyal to me, I had a much better chance. Like, I had 2 people who I actually liked and liked me a lot, and it was Ibarka and Dillman, and both of them quit, kind of. So it didn't exactly bode well for me. I liked Infinity too, but we obviously had our arguments, and I didn't really have arguments with the other 2.
What about Karen?
I never spoke to Karen. She read my message, and her little Bitmoji dude popped up, but I never spoke to Karen. So,
Hey, I'll say I would have stayed with the numbers if Ibarka was actually active.
yeah, see? Yeah, and I would have been all right on top of that group, but Ibarka, he would have went to fire for me, so I would have liked it. But, I mean, it didn't happen, so it doesn't matter, but could have.
Infinity, when the game started breaking down to a lot of drama between Days and Mike, what were your feelings on that? Because you started with Mike, but you had a big alliance with Days, so
Well, I just kind of saw it as here we go. Our team is now falling apart a little bit. I still just tried to sit back and observe a little bit more because I mean here's the thing. Like I know for the other team, like yes, I talked to them, but they're still gonna have that alliance with each other. It just seems like those are the people you talk to the most, so you trust the most, which I totally get, and I wouldn't fault anybody for that. But so I felt like at that point, it's like okay, just gotta hang in there, see how this goes. And in the end, just it kind of worked itself out. So it was good to hang back and watch and wait. So yeah.
if the big fake tribal council with Mike and Days putting on a facade would have worked and Rochelle would have gone home, where would you and 3 would have gone from there?
Well, I'd like to think we would have started running the game a little bit more at that point.
You would have had the numbers, that's true. Rochelle, there was this whole you and Aspen being a duo going on very strong. Was there any way that you guys could have tried to make that look less obvious at times?
I didn't know we were. I was like, where is this duo coming
Right?
from? I was like,
Right?
I'm not confused. I mean, but I guess, I mean, I didn't know people were like paranoid about it and being like, oh, they're plotting against us and they're trying to make sure we're all go one by one and they'll make it to the final 3 together. I was like, honey, I don't even know. I mean, she was on my team and I trust her.
Yeah, it's weird that people thought that. Yeah.
Okay, but
I mean, I guess we should have hit it a little bit better because people really was thinking we were a fire. We were gonna win, and I guess we did. Technically, she did. Shit.
if y'all got down to the final
So
3,
right.
you, Fanguy, and Aspen, Rochelle, who do you take to the final 2?
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, that's my assumption was that if it was y'all 3, Rochelle would have taken Aspen to final 2, and Aspen would have taken Rochelle to the final 2. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a duo, but it means out of the 3-person alliance from Team AOL, y'all 2 are the closest out of that tribe. That it would be harder to break y'all up than it would be either other leg of the 3 people.
But what did we do that made y'all feel like that? What did me and her do that made y'all feel like we were closer than me and Fanguy?
I think there were a couple conversations where Rochelle was like, "She's my girl," and I just didn't get that same feeling from her that she had as much of a connection with Fanguy as she did you. Like y'all talked really well about each other. Fanguy just seemed like he was on the bottom of that 3-person alliance, and to me that means he wasn't as close to either of y'all. It's like me and Infinity, we weren't necessarily a duo, but I think her and I were a lot closer than either of us were to Mike. So there's a crack between in there that you could potentially break up the 3-person alliance, but it would be a lot harder to break me and Infinity up. That's how I felt about you and Aspen and Rochelle compared to Fanguy.
I
Okay.
will say this though, because I feel like it happened after Aspen went home is when her and Rochelle got closer. Because I feel like Aspen and Fanguy were pretty close on Team AOL.
Yeah.
I recognize that at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Me and Fan had a lot of conversations. We just had a lot in common. Just like, oh no, he just a cool person, like somebody I genuinely would hang out outside of this, you know. And so like we got it on from that, like from day one. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I decided that. I don't even know. Like it's weird because I feel like from day one I felt equally, you know, drawn to both of them. But
I think what
it's
happened
like
is that Fanguy was telling people about Rochelle's advantage, and then Aspen did the spying. So I mean, it kind of
yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, that
made a
is the
crack
case.
in the
Yeah.
relationship.
When I realized that he wasn't as like honest, like he would turn on her like that, you know, like I don't know, that just like made me be like, whoa, wait a minute. Like if he would do that to her now that I'm out the game, like you know, ain't no telling what he would do to me. So it's like, I don't know, it just made me think like, dang, maybe he ain't as trustworthy. He like literally spilling all the beans, you know, like just I don't know, it just was like, bro, like I can't even trust you no more, you know? Like, man, I thought that we had something, but I mean I get it, you know, he had to do what he had to do to be able to like make it a little further, you know, but I think in the end it did make me, you know, not want to be as trustworthy with him for sure.
Mike, despite not being able to talk to Rochelle and Aspen on Discord, do you think you could have found some cracks on the board?
I mean, maybe. Probably. I think there were definitely opportunities that I could have taken, but I was like not a fan of the slowness of it. You know, like Discord, everything's instant, and then like IMs is like when someone messages me on Discord, I get a notification, and that's the only reason I think of it. Like I didn't log into the board except around challenge times really, and I wasn't like willing to like check it out. But maybe if I was a little less lazy, I probably could have found myself a way in.
At one point, there seemed to be an almost alliance between Days and Infinity and Rochelle and Aspen. What happened there? Was it Fanguy being in the middle of it?
I think it's that he was playing both sides, you know, like I guess that's what it was. I didn't know that he was trying to like work with them until it came out and I don't know, I thought we genuinely could have had like some sort of four when we were like trying to get that planned up. So
I
Infinity?
think he was. Oh,
Or
go ahead.
I
whoever?
don't know. I think the same thing that Aspen said, only because I just felt like I have to trust you in order to be in alliance with you. So if I'm not trusting you, and I know that you're talking to other people and probably working against me too, then I don't trust the whole group as a whole. So I'm like, I trusted Aspen and Fanguy, even though Fanguy told all my business. I trusted him more than I trusted Days and Affinity at that point.
Nick, I can't hear you at all.
Oh,
Very-
keep muting myself because the dog outside. Days, Infinity, where do you stand on that alliance?
Can she hear?
yeah, I can hear.
Oh, the 4-person alliance, me, Aspen, Rochelle, and Infinity. Again, that goes back to, at least for me, my paranoia that Fanguy wasn't being honest with me about that advantage. But ultimately, again, for me, I was loyal to Infinity, but I needed to try to infiltrate that 3-person alliance, and that was kind of my goal to get us 4 together. And I think I suggested to Infinity to try to make an all-girls alliance, just to try to get some information out of them and keep me out of it. That didn't come to fruition, but
So that was your idea, huh?
I think we kind of both agreed on it, but for me personally, trying to start an alliance with you and Rochelle was just trying to get information and find those cracks.
Mm. And by the way, the All Girls Alliance was suggested from the questions from Nick in the very beginning. just FYI.
Well, tell him, Infinity. Tell him.
It was part of the
I don't
game.
remember to be honest. But, I think maybe after you and Rochelle met on that
Yeah.
one-on-one.
You know, for me, like if the 4-person group that we just talked about worked, I'd definitely be down for it. But it is hard if you have people that don't trust you. So I totally understand.
I don't know if I would have rolled with it.
He's like, I'm not me.
Right? Yeah. That's pretty obvious.
Well, as we wind down, if you guys have any questions for each other, now is the time to do so.
Aspen.
Yep.
Aspen, are you working on an application for Survivor yet?
Oh, what's crazy is, man, I am actually conjuring up my audition tape, dude. I'm thinking about it. I for sure am like trying to get together an audition tape, man.
You get on, I'm gonna make you my winner pick. You're gonna give me one of those shiny Reddit badges.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They're casting right now. Do it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm hoping that they'll keep on doing it. You know, like I don't know. I know they stopped filming the next season because of COVID or something, but like I really am hoping to get this video in. I'll let y'all know. I'll send out a link, and yeah, for sure. This has like honestly gave me like super encouragement to just try out for those things, you know, that I've been wanting to do. And like, I don't know, this is so dope to do this with y'all, man. I really appreciate it for sure. I had a good time.
Awesome.
Me too.
Any other questions for each other?
I mean, I would ask a question, but I can't hear half of these people, so I can't.
Do you know sign language?
Mm-mm.
I don't have any questions, but I do want to thank Nick for hosting the game. Had a lot of fun, and I think I've told you already, but watching this back and seeing myself on video and interacting makes me I was proud of myself for being social.
Oh my gosh.
And watching myself back, I hated seeing myself as drunk as I was for most of the game. I think only Mike knows this, but I'm sober 167 days.
Oh man, wow, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'd like to play this game again and not be completely loaded. See what I can do.
Well, I do hope you will all play again in the future.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. If it's ever like a reunion or like you want to do a, you know, OG, you know, we the crew.
Season 2 is just us 5 and then like 10
I know,
newbies.
right? I know.
10 new people. That'd go great.
Maybe.
We'll be waiting on that season 2 call, Nick.
Look, give me the invite. I'll show up. I got nothing going on.
I also have another game that I wanted to try. I mean, I know Mike doesn't watch other shows, but
I'll try. I'll play them, dude. I've won Big Brothers, and I've never watched. I watched like one episode, maybe.
well, I
What's
might
the
be sending
game?
you emails in the next couple of weeks.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
find out in the next couple of weeks,
Okay.
and hopefully, Fan Guy emails you back sometime.
Yeah, I hope he's doing all right. You know, he
Yeah,
was.
tell him don't be a sore loser, man. It's all good, man.
Yes.
I don't think that's the reason, but who knows? Maybe he has something else to do.
All right.
Hey, 5-person alliance starts right here.
Oh God! Don't say that because we're gonna get Poker Alliance. Like they're gonna watch
That's
this.
true.
And
This
then,
would probably be on
"Who's-
the
who's-
video.
who's gonna get him out?"
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Yeah, no. Like I'll never work with Days, but wink, wink.
Wink,
We've
wink.
heard that before.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't check my email, so Discord me.
Yeah, I know. I'll Discord you. I know you only respond to Discords, Mike.
Yeah, it's all about them Discords.
Yeah, that's the one thing I got from this game, besides all the fun, of course. But I never knew about Discord, so I learned something new.
Right.
Actually,
there's one more thing we could talk about if Mike wants to.
Sure. I mean, my battery's at 9%, so if I leave, I'm not leaving. I'm just... I got it pulled up on my computer, but then we'll lose my video.
Well, quickly then. If anybody wants to talk about Mike's dissertation, as people call it.
That's funny.
I'm out.
I definitely called it a dissertation in my head, so I think it was Rachel who called it a dissertation.
It was.
I
in
sure
the
did.
show, and I laughed my ass off. I'm like, what? I said that.
No, I understand. He was trying to get his feelings out. I get it.
I was trying to get the vote off me, actually. I
Really?
thought, yeah, obviously. Hey, look, when you're that far on the bottom, you got to try something radical. I thought maybe someone would like try and goat me and bring me to the end, but no one did. That was my intention. I wanted someone to be like, oh, this guy's never gonna win a jury vote. Maybe I'll try and work with him, because at that point we were already deep end game, kind of. So like, it only took a few votes. I mean, it was wishful thinking, but I never give up till I'm out. So.
I respect that at least.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So half of it was exaggerated. I mean, yeah. It is what it is.
I guess okay. I forgive you for
Yeah.
making me read it. That was the last thing. I was
You
like,
didn't have to
oh,
read it, man. I don't think it was too rude to anyone except Dazed, but that was just part of the whole image I needed to do.
Bro, it more was anger towards Dazed.
Hey,
Yeah, it was all anger towards Dazed. A little bit of fan guy hate sprinkled in there, you know. But
Hey,
A little bit.
I thought I was going to come into this game and be the villain, and that is not the game I played at all. So,
Yep, I stole that from you, buddy.
Bro.
I think Mike made some fans as the villain, though.
I know.
My-
I can't even enough people
yeah,
are gonna super like him.
My friends that I made
Wonderful.
watch it. That's the fans. I did see a comment on the finale. Someone saying "Fan Guy should win" with 3 likes, or should have won. Sorry.
Honestly, I'm super excited about how much like views it's been getting on YouTube. I just wanted to commend you on that, man. It's been doing a great job, dude. Seriously.
yes, it seems like a lot of
I
work.
hope to keep
I know.
growing
Yeah.
I'm excited
Fun
for the
with
next one.
people.
That's all I got, guys.
But yeah, guys, I enjoy playing with y'all. I
Same.
really did. Aspen, congratulations again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And hope to play with y'all again. It was fun.
For sure. And are not alliance though, you know?
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
See everybody.
Bye.